That's hilarious. I was trying to fix up my outfit, and I guess I had automatic, I guess I had, the automatic timer for it to go off was on. Um, that's great. Like, I looked up, and I was like, oh, it's fun to start, because it started counting backwards. It was like, 3, 2, 1, and I'm like, um, yeah, I was trying to fix this. I wanted it to look different. Hello. For those of you who know what this is, prepare for the same old, same old. And for those of you who are potentially new to this space, my name is Taylor the Penguin. That's like the name that I go by on here. And I do videos that are in some parts spiritual, metaphysical type messages for people. And I just saw a minute and 1 second 101, which is a mirror number, as I say that. So maybe you're here for something that maybe I will be moved to say in this session that we have together. I yap, I ramble, and the whole point of doing these videos for me is to work on being more vulnerable and being more authentic. So that is your minute and a half intro of what this kind of video series, I guess, that this is. I've been doing this now, I think I said, I posted on somebody else's video because that person, Jadina, who is, I think it's spelled Jhadina. So if you're looking for like just good vibes, honestly, or if you're moved to go look at her channel, she's got a lot of stuff that she says that are it's pretty awesome and pretty intense. A lot of stuff that she's like prophetic when it comes to speaking things, and she's been saying a lot of stuff that's been happening to me, and I thought that shit was crazy. I was like, this shit's not real, this doesn't exist. But she literally clocked when I started my spiritual journey, and I started to really connect with that aspect of myself. And so I am subscribed to her and I follow. You should go subscribe to her and also follow if you are so moved. So what I like to do at the beginning of my videos is I like to show this really pretty mobile that I bought from a store here in Florida called Mystic Minerals. And they sell like incense, they sell CDs, they sell like books, all kinds of like things for your metaphysical needs, candles, all kinds of stuff. But I typically show this at the beginning of my videos, A, because it's super pretty and I don't like it just hanging on the wall, seeing no action. But it's also a totem of one of the members of my spiritual team, my spirit people. And it's like a protective totem, so I show it at the beginning of my videos. And usually I also encourage people to drink some water. 3 minutes and 23 seconds as I say that. 23 is one of my lucky numbers. So right now is a good time for you to drink some water. Get some water in, either pause the video, or if you have water, good job. If you have water next to you, good job. Good job. Now go ahead and drink some. I just had to make sure everything was copacetic. Okay, that is ice. Okay, we're good. I'm not sure why I was moved to do like a whole little intro there, but anyways, I hope that if you're watching this video right now that you are faring well. I hope you had a good day. I hope I'm feeling lovely right now. I'm feeling very lit. I had some libations and some other stuff earlier, so I'm feeling lovely at present. So that's why I'm kind of like just feeling good. But I hope if you're watching this, you've had a good day. If you haven't had a good day, hopefully maybe something that I say in this video will help either make you feel better, or maybe it will nudge you in the direction to do something perhaps maybe you should be doing right now, or maybe, you know, I'll say something that like resonates with you and you will feel seen and heard. I like when people feel seen and heard. I like fiddle around with my jewelry a lot, and it's not because I'm really trying to fix it. Like, I fiddle around with jewelry that I wear because I like the sounds. I have always said if I manage to get like earrings that are like itty bitty wind chimes, it's over for everybody who knows me because I would wear them all the time because I have like a whole sound thing. I'm very big into sounds. I love wind chimes. I heard a wind chime today. I walked out in our neighborhood. I was taking a walk with my sister and I heard this glorious sound and I was like, what is that? And I turned around and it was some metal wind chimes, like copper, I think, and the sound it made was just chef's kiss. It was amazing. I love sound. I love sound. I'm a big sucker for sound. Like I've said before in other videos, I am a musician, like did choir, I've been a vocalist, I've been a solo vocalist, I've performed in the theater space, musical theater. And then I've also played like instruments, various instruments. My two favorites and the ones that I want to own, I would like a lever harp, which is essentially like a harp that you sit behind and it's got like little feet on it. But for the most part, in order to change the keys and chords and everything, there are levers above each string and you have to put them up or down depending upon what key you want to play in. The pedal harps are the ones that a lot of people see. Those are the big ones where it's like there are actual like similar to piano pedals on the bottom. So I want one of those. I would like my own harp, and then I also want a bass, and I want to learn how to play the bass guitar. I've always felt like bass is just such a vibe and I love the sound. Like growing up, I always pick out the bass line of any song, and if there is no bass line, I create one. And so it's a wonder to me why I've never learned how to play the bass. I think it's just because I tried to learn how to play guitar and the F chord messed me up. I couldn't do it. I couldn't make my fingers bend that way, and I was like, well, I guess my dreams of being a singer and, you know, amazing guitarist are out the window. So but I really want a bass. I really want a bass, man. Like I just feel like that'll be so cool to learn how to play that. But yeah, like as a person who is very into music and who is very moved by music, which surprise, surprise, not everybody is moved by music. Like some people, they're like, oh, that's okay. Like they hear music and I'd like to think maybe they just haven't found the thing that gives them that spark. But some people just don't, they're not really into music like that, which is crazy to me. But yeah, so I love sounds. It's why I'll repeat certain lines from movies again and again and again, or video games. Like I looked up today a clip from the video game. It's like I think it's a horror video game, but what I've seen hasn't been very scary, so I don't know. But it's called Indigo Park. And the character, Rambly Raccoon, makes a statement, and he's like, do you know why? There's spoilers for the game, like the very, very beginning, but it's like, do you know why I enjoy, like, I have a railroad here in the theme park? And then he goes, because I like trains. And it's so like throughout the day today, I was just randomly like, because I like trains. My dad was like, what? And I was like, don't worry about it, bro. You don't want any access to what's going on up here. But that was me all day. Oh my gosh, is this video about to be me talking about my favorite movie quotes of all time? It might be. Again, for those of you who are new here, these videos can be anywhere from 15 minutes to 58. We've actually cracked like 55 before there was a video that happened. I still don't know. Before I talk about movie quotes, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I still don't know exactly what's gonna come of this. I still don't know. So for those of you who followed me and subscribed after my first 2 videos, bless you. I love that you're here. But to those of you who have been here since the beginning, I said I had no idea why I was doing these other than to be vulnerable. And somebody might say, well, that's a good reason. I mean, it is a good reason, but then why not? Because the thing is, I was moved to do this. Like, this was a spiritual move. This was something that my gut was like, you need to start posting videos about being vulnerable. And I said, why? And I received no real answer that I liked. Like, the answer of you need to be vulnerable, you need to practice vulnerability. I get that and I understand that. But if that's the case, why would I not record these videos, right? And then just send them to like family or friends or like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand why I'm posting them in such a public format. I'm having fun, don't get me wrong. It's incredibly healing, and I'm glad that I started this journey 2-ish weeks ago, I guess. But at the same time, I still don't know what the purpose is. And this was actually something I thought today. So when it comes to my love life, I actually know deep down in my gut that the partner that I am manifesting is coming. And it's weird because I know that as if I know that I'm a highly melanated individual. Like, I know I have tattoos. It's like, it's a knowing. I know that he is in some capacity on his way to me. I have no idea who this man is going to be. Like, I have ideas. I have far-fetched idea, or maybe not so far-fetched, but I have ideas of who this person could be, but I don't know. I can't see the future, and I believe every choice that we make changes the future. So when it comes to my love life, I'm currently focusing on the mental paradigm of I am love, I am in love with everything, and I just appreciate every day and every moment that I'm in, and really focusing on that. So that's what's happening in my love life. In the aspect of my life as far as like a move, my gut, and then I've received like confirmations. Like, I've seen people post things like about it, and then I've just seen a bunch of posts that have, like, I haven't looked up a move or anything. I've just been talking about it. And I know our phones have a microphone in them and they can hear us, but it gets weird. Like, the specific type of messages that I get. So, like, I felt in my spirit that there was a move date. And in my mind, it was one of 2 different move dates. And then I got a confirmation last week that it's the first one. And I was like, with whose money? With whose money? I would like to know who's funding that move. So I have no idea what's happening with that, but I know in my gut that I am moving. I don't know how. I don't know how any of this is going to happen. 12 minutes and 12 seconds as I'm saying this, so maybe somebody needs to hear this. I need you to understand, I sit here and I occasionally will talk about my belief as far as what people watching this video need to do for themselves, or like what they should do, like if they're really trying to lock it in, like with their spiritual, intimate self. I say those things, but I also do not know where I'm headed. I don't know where I'm going. The only thing I know is the past that brought me here and each moment that I'm in. I have no knowledge of what's going to happen to the future. I currently don't have any like avenues. Like, when you're like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but you've sent out a ton of resumes. I don't know what I'm going to do, but you do have this one guy who you're kind of seeing and you don't really know. I have no clue. And I'm moved to share that with you all. It's been like 2 days where I've been like, I don't know what I'm doing. 13 minutes and 13 seconds on my timer as I'm saying that. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm used to, at this time in my life, when I'm in a situation where I am financially depending on other people, I am used to fixing up my resume and literally hitting the pavement and going out and applying to jobs online and walking into institutions and applying for jobs. I'm used to doing that. I'm used to putting that hard work in. Excuse me. But since I started this spiritual journey where I was like, I'm going to follow these spiritual nudges come hell or high water, because I am tired of what the life that doesn't have that is. I'm tired of that. So I would like to try something different. And, worst comes to worst, I just go back to doing what I was doing before. Like, getting out there, hitting the pavement, applying for jobs. Like, I have the hustle to do that. I've had the hustle to do things and to make things work. So 14 minutes and 14 seconds, if that's somebody's lucky number, I guess I'm talking to you. Like, you may be a person who has the hustle and you've got it going. But right now, you're being moved to just sit still and be patient. And I'm not going to lie to you, that shit can be mad frustrating when you know that what you usually do, while it gets you things that you don't necessarily like, it gets you something. You're not sitting around kind of waiting for shit to happen. And that's what it's felt like, is that I'm waiting for something and I'm so used to just going out and doing it. So it's like, well, if you're nudged, then you do those nudges, and those nudges will get you where you need to go. Yeah, I haven't been nudged to do anything except these videos every night. And my hope is that you can kind of feel it's not frustration, it's genuine confusion. Like, again, Jadina does these videos, and in her videos, she does a lot of spiritual talk. She does a lot of channeling. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And I believe that she does a lot of channeling because there's a lot of stuff she says that are very specific. And I get that some people might be like, well, spirituality is hocus pocus. This place isn't for you. Please go find something else logical to do with your time, something that you enjoy. But like in her video that I watched today, she was like, I know you're super confused right now and you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing. I was like, yeah, I don't. Like, I'm only doing what I move to do every day, and this is it. Like, I am so... It's weird because I'm actually not tempted to job hunt right now. Like, I'm not at all. And I think it's because I passed the first part of that unhealthy cycle, that toxic cycle of saying, I'm going to dedicate myself to this thing, but then because that thing happens to be a special interest or it's an artistic endeavor, I usually push it to the side, and then I go for the cycle. So the cycle is going out and getting jobs that I don't like. And if I'm honest, it's difficult for me to hold jobs, not because of my work ethic, because I actually work incredibly hard, almost too hard. I'm the type of person who skips a lunch. I come in 2 hours earlier than everybody else so I can start work and start getting things done so that I can focus. But just the way I am processing mentally since 27, 28, I found it a lot harder to interact in the workspace. And I think it's because I started to realize how much I was overextending. And I was like, I wish things could just go back. I mean, I don't, but like working in an office setting is a challenge for me. Like, it's a challenge to sit there. And I know there are people watching this who are probably like, well, it's a challenge for everybody. Yes, sure. I don't really have a rebuttal. But what I'm saying is I have the work ethic, the hustle, and the drive to do it. But I'm not being moved. And I did this whole thing in October where I was like, I'm gonna stop just using my logic and my brain, where I'm constantly trying to figure stuff out and I'm constantly trying to do the 10-year thing and the 5-year thing, because I got close. I got incredibly close to what I wanted. I was this close to being in the type of management position that right above that is one more position, and then the CEO of the company is right above that person. I was this close, and that was my goal. I wanted a 6-figure income. I wanted the white picket fence. I wanted the husband. I wanted all the kids, maybe 2 kids. And then I wanted, cats and a dog. Like, but the closer I got to that, the more I hated that idea. Like, I would be sitting in my cubicle. People are coming up to my cubicle. Thank you for turning this in. Thank you for turning this in. I'm doing an amazing job. Overachiever much. And I was going home fucking depressed. I did not want to be there. Oh my God. And again, I know other people go through this, and I'm not minimizing anybody's experience. I'm just being vulnerable about mine. That's it. I was super close. I was in Boston, Massachusetts. I had a job I actually really liked when I first started. But then the more I was working the job, the more monotonous it got. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly. It was the same thing. And then I noticed that it was the same drama with the same people when I came to work. And then I started noticing how just I lost motivation to do stuff. And it was literally my best paid job that I've had. And that job was pre-COVID. So pre-COVID, I had the best job of my life. If I were to go back and have that job now with my master's, I would be making quite a bit more. I would be super happy. And I know a lot of people are like, wow, you have that opportunity. You should totally go do it. Yes, but again, money doesn't necessarily bring joy with it. It's something that my great grandfather used to say on my dad's side, is that money is, and I know other people have said this, but money is a magnifier. Money is an energy. It is its own thing. It's a tool. So there's a reason why when you see people and they have all this money and you're like, what happened? They were so kind, blah, 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 blah. The odds are they weren't that kind to begin with. Money does not create a different person. It simply magnifies the type of person who is already there. If you're a person who's super giving and that's actually who you are, 9 times out of 10, as you get more money, that giving part of you is just amped up to an 11 because you have the funds to give. So you give. If you're a super greedy bastard, and if you're like, I'm keeping everything to myself, bump everybody else, then that's, you just become more of that. If you're really impulsive, money doesn't stop that from happening. Now, maybe you pay for therapy sessions, or you pay for coaches, or you pay for people to help you, and then in that case, you can better yourself. But money itself, it's a magnifier. And I was miserable, and I was unhappy, and so the more money I got, I just continued to be more unhappy. I had access to so much more stuff that messed me up and messed my health up. It's like, at least when I was broke, I couldn't afford all the vices that made me unhealthy. But the minute I had money, the minute I had, a comma in my bank accounts, I was messing up them commas. I was out there. Really messed myself up. And I feel so blessed that I am not going down that path of toxicity anymore. I'm super happy. I'm not super healthy, but we could work on that. But yeah, I don't have a problem going out and getting work. Now, it was a struggle this 2024 in particular to job hunt, and part of me actually believes that it was hard because there's something else that I'm supposed to be doing. There's a different job I'm supposed to be doing. I have read and I've heard people, and I've had people that I know actually, even before COVID, who started running into walls in their life. And I can't remember who it was. I wish I could remember so I could give them credit. But essentially they said, when you are running into walls, they're not walls, they're redirects. So you're pushing, you're going through something, and then you hit a wall and you're like, fuck, what am I gonna do now? Well, the wall is meant to slow you down. It's meant for you to sit with your spirit and to think and to consider what's going on right now. Let me reevaluate my friendships. Let me reevaluate my situation. Let me reevaluate my definition of success. Let me reevaluate the type of sleep I'm getting. Is my body at peace? Am I sick all the time? What's going on with that? Am I taking care of myself? That is what the wall is for. It is a brief moment of respite. It's like a rest stop on the highway. When you're traveling, you're going long distances and you've got a rest area, that's what that wall is. It's not meant to halt you and then you never go anywhere else. But when you hit the wall, you look around. Now, I know people that say you have to figure out a way to go around the wall or over the wall or under the wall or through the wall. And in my experience, a lot of the walls that I've run into, I actually was not meant to push through, because pushing through actually did not get me what I wanted. It was meant to be a redirect, but I misread it as, well, I'm supposed to force this, right? I have to fight for what I want. I have to struggle. I have to suffer. And that is the reality for a lot of people. But some people decide that that's not the reality that they want for themselves. And those types of people are in every walk of life. No, we don't see them everywhere because not everybody's a celebrity. Not everybody's in front of the camera where you can see them, but not everybody is suffering in order to get where they want to be. And not everybody is privileged, and so they don't suffer. Some people decide that they're going to live their most authentic lives, and they're going to be themselves. And their definition of success, they change. So instead of saying, oh, well, now I want 6 figures, I now say, you know what? I would really like to go back to my roots of being a musician, and I want to play in a band. You find that the things that actually resonate with your spirit are very doable. I took a class at Full Sail when I was there, because that's where I got my master's. And the class that I took, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure they're still offering it, but it's a mastery course. I think it's called Mastery, Leadership in something. And they have you read a book. And I want to, I can't remember. I'm not going to say a book and be wrong, but there is a book. And essentially, the book is a guide that helps you figure out what it is that you have had inclinations for since you were a kiddo. Your internal child. What is the thing that you had the most fun doing? Maybe somebody who is hearing this knows that book. I want to say it's by Robert Greene, but I could be wrong. Is it Robert Greene? It might not be. I know in leadership we read 48 Laws of Power, and that was pretty incredible. But I think it was a different book. And the book essentially talks about your inclinations towards your childhood and what is it that you wanted to do during that time. So, as an example, a person says, well, I liked building things. I liked Legos. I liked putting together things. And then as that person got older, you see that a lot of their work or the projects that they love have to do with putting things together. If you go back and you think in your childhood about what you enjoyed to do for fun, or if you had to grow up super fast, which felt, what would your inner child like to do now when they play? How do they want to play? Because usually the field of work or the type of work that you do that is connected to that is what brings you energy. Yeah, every job has days where we don't want to fucking work. Like, every job has a day where you kind of wake up and you're like, so I could grab like 2 more days of sleep. Like, every job, I think, has that. But it's the difference between going to a job that you tolerate and going to a job that you really like, where you feel fulfilled in the job that you do. And you feel successful in that job. So, like, people who drew as kids, they, at Full Sail, I've met a lot of people who they were drawing as kids and they've become animators. They're going to school to animate, or they want to do art, or they want to do illustrations for books. Ooh, my ear is ringing. What is that about? Somebody who is watching this video dabbles around in doodles. Consider doing illustration. You need to look that up. Consider projects. Consider like student projects. Like, go online, go on ChatGPT or Claude AI or one of those AI programs and look up what are common projects for art students. For those of you who are kind of balling on a budget right now and you can't afford to go back to school, there are free classes on YouTube and online. A website that I use is Coursera. I go on there and usually they are free courses, and some of them, if you want the certification, you have to pay for the certification. I just take the courses because I enjoy learning. So that is a free resource for anybody who wants to use it, Coursera. I know that there's some others, but Coursera is the one that I use the most, I would have to say, and that I've enjoyed. And work on it. Work on what you like. Take your dream seriously. A lot of my inclinations, I think, had to do with playing. I liked pretending. I was big into pretend. I was big into doing designs in the grass with leaves, with leaves that fell off the trees, and I would do the blueprint for a house. I loved that. That was super fun. I used to pretend to teach music lessons. I used to pretend to teach people how to drive. There was a lot of stuff that I did as a kid, and I'm reconnecting with things now. Even this. The whole reason I put this wig on and I put this dress on, and the reason I dress like this is because this is me dressing up in a way that I wouldn't usually dress. I don't walk around looking like this every day. I would love to, but I like pretend. I like playing characters. I enjoy acting. And that's super fun, but I'm not moved to do anything with that right now. So I don't know what's going on, y'all. But yes, look at what you did in your childhood and see if there are any types of jobs or any types of career paths that you could choose or maybe create. Maybe it's a job that doesn't exist yet. Maybe it's something that if you sit down and you think about it and you get somebody who's really good with logistics and planning on your side, then maybe you could create something entirely new, something that we don't have yet that we maybe need. So I don't know. I don't know, my friend. But yeah, I've not been moved to do anything, and I feel like there may be some of you who are feeling similarly, where you feel like you're in a holding pattern, like you feel like you're waiting, but I know I'm not waiting. I know I am currently resting because I can feel that things are coming. And then I will be, no. No. Serious time. I feel that things are on their way to me, and I'm very excited about that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was totally going to talk about movie quotes that I like. So I think it's 2005, 2008, the Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale and others. I don't want to, like, spoilers for that movie, for that Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman, but there's a scene where he's walking into this town and all of these people are like, nah, this guy's an outsider, kill him, and he is like, Kate Beckinsale, who plays like kind of the head of the town, like she's the person, she's like, gentlemen, you will now be disarmed, and he goes, you can try, and the way he says it, yo, my siblings and I quote that all the time. If somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, you can try, like, we quote it all the time. What else? I have so many quotes. Now we quote the Quado episode from Rick and Morty, the newer one. It was me! I betrayed my whole species, and I do it again. I had so much more to reveal. My sister and I quote that all the time now. She does the voice perfectly. My sister likes to quote The Little Worm from Labyrinth with David Bowie. And when he's like, hello. And she's like, did you just say hello? And he's like, nah, I said hello, but that's close enough. And she's like, do you know your way, or do you know the way out of this labyrinth? And he's like, me? Nah, I'm just a worm. Come in and meet the missus. And she quotes that all the time, and it's so funny. She does the voice. She does it so much better. But we love that. What other line do I like? Lines from movies. I love movie quotes. This is like when people would ask me to sing when they found out when I was growing up, when my mom would be like, oh, yes, let my kids sing. And they were like, you sing something. I've been singing songs since I was 2, blank. Nothing comes to mind. And I'm like, I don't know. Happy birthday to you. Like, I don't know if there are any, like, creatives who are watching this video who go through this, where you're like, people are like, do the thing, and you're like, I no member. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know why that happens. Maybe it's performance anxiety. Like, I can't get the creative thought up, if you know what I mean. But that does happen to me all the time. And then around the house, I just can't shut the hell up. I enjoy singing. Not loud and obnoxious, because that would be annoying, and I'm respectful of people's spaces, especially because we live in an apartment. But I'd be singing. I'd be doing little rolls and stuff. Ooh, that's something that one of the things growing up that I did in order to try to separate myself from the black experience, if you will, if I sang publicly, it was primarily like jazz, pop, or operatic music. Oh yeah, choir girl sang them operetics. I actually love Time to Say Goodbye. I forget her, Sarah something, and who's the guy? The only name I can think of is David Bowie, and it's not David Bowie. Fuck. I forget his name, but he sings "Time to Say Goodbye." Like, he sings that song so well, and it's so beautiful. I cannot remember. I'm blanking. He's like my mom's favorite singer, and I'm completely blanking right now. That's wild. Those are my thoughts. But Andrea Bocelli. Yes. I knew if I sat on it long enough, the thought would resurface. Like a shark in the ocean. Or like a porpoise. Less aggressive. But yeah, I used to sing like opera music, and I still do occasionally. But I tried to separate myself from like music that was heavily associated with the Black experience. So gospel, heavily. And in gospel, when you be singing, you do the most. You riff and you roll all over the place. And I actually had a partner tell me, who I was dating, he was like, yeah, I'm just not a fan, because I sang something and I did some riffs and rolls, because that's, vocal acrobatics are my favorite thing to do because I can do them. Like, it just feels good. Like, I've spoken in a different video about how I like learning foreign languages. And it's the same with songs. Like, I enjoy, it's similar to stimming, but it's not stimming. But I sang a song and he was like, yeah, I just don't care for all of the extra stuff. Like, it should just really be like what the song is. And I was like, oh my god, he's right. This is so fucking extra. So then I started singing super bland, and I wouldn't do rolls, I wouldn't do the riffs, I wouldn't do the runs, you know, or the acrobatics, because I was like, that's a lot, that's too much. In fact, there were so many things that people I knew growing up, especially people who were not heavily melanated, and some people who were, who would make statements about, like, their statements actually directly translated to dimming your light. And it was always under the guise of, well, you know, you want to be considerate of other people and you want to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, so since when did I allow other people to run this? There is being considerate of other people, yes. But then there's also living your life and enjoying and doing what you do. The amount of places I've gone where I've had people in past friend groups, or acquaintance groups rather, who would make a statement about a table full of heavily melanated people who are laughing. They'd be like, they're so loud. I'm like, yeah, but that table over there is being just as loud. So why did you pick that table? What's going on? Make it make sense. So now I like to do the riffs and the rolls and the runs when I sing. It depends on the song though, because some songs don't require it. Like, I understood what my partner said at that time. Like, I got it. He's like, you know, as far as what he liked to listen to, he likes to listen to, he's a lyric listener. There are people who, when they listen to music, they're listening for two totally different reasons, or multiple different reasons. I find that a lot of people that I know will listen to songs because it's catchy. And sometimes I do that, but for the most part, if a song has lyrics that do not resonate with where I'm at that time, and I'm not there, I do not listen to them. Because for me, music is such a powerful and moving experience. I cannot listen to songs that are super duper negative. So, like, I used to listen to a lot of songs that were like the depresso, espresso songs where it's like, man, life is just hard, everything sucks, and I used to be like, yes, like, this is what I need right now, like, this particular artist gets me. But then the older I got, the more I was like, I don't like this. I don't like how I feel. I want to feel better. I want to feel different. Like, I have other experiences that are really positive, and I wish I heard music that reflected that instead of just all of the things that have hurt me or might hurt in general. And for people who listen to music like that, I love listening to music with other people. I think it's fun learning why they like something, and I enjoy those songs still. Like, if I heard a song that was a bop and it had like a really like sad message behind it, I respect it and I still like the song. But if I'm in a certain place, I don't want to listen to anything where the lyrics are talking about things I don't want to happen. So I don't typically listen to songs that have negative speech concerning relationships. So if I'm listening to a song and like the whole point of the song is that your partner's cheating on you, I don't listen to that, because it really does change the vibe. So there are like a couple of songs that I've heard that have like been super that have been like mainstream, and they were super duper catchy, and I was like really really into it. But then I looked up the lyrics and I was like, oh no, I'm not there. That's not the time that I'm on. I personally believe that music is a universal language, and I believe that we as human beings are energetic beings, and we're all actually made up of atoms and molecules that are vibrating super duper fast. And music actually does affect how we feel, and it does affect our energetic person. And I believe that if you want to be a happy person, the worst thing you can do for yourself is to listen to music that takes you as far away from that emotion as possible. Like, I listen to a lot of joke and parody songs. Like, Weird Al Yankovic he's a hero. He's one of the OGs of parody music. I used to listen to The Key of Awesome. Like, I still listen to Epic Rap Battles of History. Like, parody songs that are really, like, they make me laugh, or they make me smile, or they make me chuckle. And that's the type of music I like listening to when I want to feel like silly or goofy or in a happy mood. Like, if I'm really trying to be in a happy mood, I have a couple of songs that are like, that's my stuff. I have a couple of new songs that I actually found on the way back home from the beach today that I stumbled across, and I can't remember what the titles are because they're super new, but I love getting new songs. Like, new music recommendations are always really nice. Sometimes people will recommend that I listen to music, and I won't in that like moment because I know the lyrics of the song and the topic of the song, and I'm like, I'm not there right now. Maybe in a couple of days. Yeah. Hey, yo, be patient. Be patient with some of your friends who process differently. Be patient with your kids. Be patient with your parent. You know, because some of us, the way we process mentally is different. And when you're a person who has always grown up believing that everybody processes the same, I know it can be frustrating to deal with people who process differently. I'm trying to think of like a familial example that I have, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. But I've just found out recently that there's so many different ways that the people around me process mentally. Like, they're very different. So like, I'll hear a song and the song will remind me of a food, and then that's what I'm craving or something. And then to know that other people don't experience that is crazy to me. Like, I used to love the trends that would be like and that thought escapes me as well. Made a mass exodus. It was like, I hope you are enjoying just existing, because that's all you're going to be doing after this thought gets up and walks away. That's crazy. That's wild. Well, I guess I didn't need to continue on that rant, whatever that was about. I love this dress. I really want a different costume. Like, I want something else to wear at some point. But yeah. Do I have anything else? Was I saying anything that I remember that I can go back to? Ooh, my love. Be in your lover person season. Join me in this space. I've been talking in a couple of videos about a crush that I have, and when I tell you, it's just so nice to be in a crush space and not feel any pressure to do anything. Now, this is different for me because the person I have a crush on is nowhere near me. But some people who have crushes where they're like actually right there where the person is, I know that that can be a harder experience. And maybe it's just how my brain processes, but I actually do like being in the crush phase because I get a lot of energy from this phase. And I put a lot of that positive energy into other stuff that I do. So be a lover person. Like, writing notes for people, anybody, and it doesn't have to be somebody in a relationship with. Writing notes for people and leaving them like in random places where you know they're gonna go. Sending a letter to a friend, like a handwritten letter, or put stickers on the letter 44 minutes and 44 seconds as I'm saying this. So somebody out here likes doing like super cutesy things for their friends, and I think you should up the ante on that. Like, I love seeing friends hug now. Like, I love seeing people happy. Like, anytime I hear news that somebody got a new boyfriend or a girlfriend or a new partner, I'm like, yay, I'm so happy for you. I used to be a hater. If I saw anybody happy online back in the day. And again, I'm not proud of this before I say it. I used to flag, I'm pretty sure I said this in another video, I would flag posts where people were just too happy. And I was a real hater. Not as much of a hater as Kendrick. Now that man has the crown now after that album that he put out. But I was like, I don't like that these people are happy, but I love it now. I love to see people happy. I love to see other people succeeding and getting theirs and doing well. So if you've watched this far, thank you for being here. I appreciate it, and I hope you have enjoyed the time that you've had here with me. But if you have watched this far, please put something in the comments, or put anything in the comments of this video of really like great stuff that's happened for you. I'd like to read it at some point. And I say at some point because anytime, if some people watching this don't know how YouTube works, when you post a video, when I post videos, I get notifications on YouTube about comments, I get notifications of likes, I get notifications of dislikes, and usually it'll show me the comment and I can read it. And that's usually how I read the comments. I don't like go on the video. I'll just go to that little thing that drops down. And so some of you, like, you have interesting stuff to say. There's one person. Hello, my best friend. I love you so much, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good. You are one of the lights of my life, and I adore you, and I can't wait to see you in person. But she comments on like all of my videos, and I appreciate the love and support, and that's the type of love and support you need in your life, my love. Like, that's what you need. That's what you all need. Because having a friend who's literally like, it's like that that video that was going around on TikTok where it was like me posting videos on social media, and then the two people who are in my comments who are always hyping me up, and it's a person on a balcony DJing, and then when the camera pans down, it's only two people standing there like hyping them up. Like, get you those people. Get you those people. I'll hype you up. Positive things are happening, I'll hype you up. I'll tell you you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you, making things happen. Yeah, I think that's all I have. I'm actually very tired. I'm actually very much so looking forward to going to sleep. I think it's gotta be almost 2 a.m. if it's not 2 a.m. already. But I'm gonna close by saying this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. When I tell you all, I didn't really do much today. That's what's happening. Now, something that my father said a while ago was that people who are doing spiritual work and mental health work, spiritual work, emotional work, that is actually work. Like, emotional labor in relationships is a thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to leave y'all alone for the night. But people do not consider emotional labor important, but that is exactly why so many people get divorced and why so many couples separate, because one person is usually doing more emotional labor than the other person, or neither are doing emotional labor, and so it's not working. And emotional labor is just the ability to have hard conversations about where you're at and being vulnerable. And is that thought gone too? Fuck. That fucking sucks. Because I feel like I was on a roll with that. Oh, yes. Thank you. That type of internal work counts. And in a lot of cultures, it counts. It's just as important, if not more important, than the physical work you do in real life. So if you're in the gym and you're doing well working out, but you're not working on your mind at all, you're not working on your emotions at all, you're not working on kind of the spiritual part of yourself. And really, to me, spirituality is different to everybody. Spirituality could be you enjoy going for a walk and being out in nature. That's a spiritual experience, in my opinion. Like, the fact that you walk outside and when you walk past trees and you're inhaling what the trees are putting out and you're living, I know that on a scientific and a logical level, it's like, well, yeah, obviously, but that is a spiritual experience. And so if you're working on that, it makes sense, A, why you're so tired, and then B, it's just as important as the physical. So I know 50 minutes and 5 seconds, so that was 5005. And that is an important number. Look that up. Look that up and type in numerology, 5005, whoever has made it this far in the video. And that stuff is important too. So I've been doing so much spiritual work over the past week, even though I feel like I haven't been doing much. But I just have this feeling that things are going to start panning out. And when I come back to you guys, I'm going to be able to tell you what's happening. Maybe not in detail, but I have this feeling I don't have anything going for me right now. Like, I'm being so real. I do not have plans in place for anything to happen. And the reason I say this is because if things pop off the way I've been hearing confirmations, I've been getting all these synchronicities, if things pop off in 2025 in a way that Jadina, the girl who be doing these spiritual videos on here, if they start popping off in the way that she's saying, I need a record that is posted in public so that I can like go back later and pay an editor to sync up this part of the video where I'm like, what are we doing? I have no idea. I'm just trusting. And then the next part of the video where I'm like, hey, so you and I actually live in a 10-bedroom mansion and we do this fun shit for a living and we do this and we have the man of our dreams and he's super funny and he's amazing and he's conscientious and he's just the best and you're so happy. Like, that's part of the reason I'm also putting these videos on here, because I need proof that I was not in a really great place and I was in a place where I was completely lost. I had no idea what was happening, so that when things do happen, I can see that change. And maybe that'll help somebody out there too. Ooh. Come on now. I just felt like a little like in my spirit. Come on now. But yeah, I'm 100% trusting the process. I'm 100% trusting the process. There are times where I'm nudged to do something and I don't do it out of fear, and I have been, over the past like 5 days, really been working on trusting. And when I'm nudged to do something and I can feel it, it's like a spiritual nudge, I do it. I'm really working on that because I know that that is about to be incredibly important. I just have a feeling. But yeah, I will definitely come back and share with you all as things are happening in my life and as things are going down. I don't know what's gonna happen. It would be really cool for those of you who are currently watching my videos to kind of go on that journey with me. I think that would be dope. I think that would be cool. I don't know, I might be moved to stop doing videos when that point happens, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I love you guys. Again, I appreciate the people who like the video. I appreciate the people who share my videos. I appreciate the people who are just chilling out and who use this as a space to relax at the end of their day or to play in the background as they're doing other stuff. I appreciate everybody. No matter why you're here, I appreciate you. Blessings on your journey. Blessings on your life. I hope the next time you close your eyes to go to sleep or take a nap, that you have amazing dreams that inspire you and fill you with all kinds of positive energy and motivations. So that's all I have for you. Mwah. I love you guys, and I will holla at you tomorrow night.